Trista Sutter is best known as the original Bachelorette. She's one of the few people from the series to have found lasting love, and Trista has been married to Ryan Sutter since 2003, and they have two beautiful children. So she's in Chicago today along with nutrition expert Dr. Mike to chat about a very important topic when it comes to pregnancy. Good morning, and thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here. So we're talking about gestational diabetes, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Tell me about just the issues that you had with your pregnancy.
Well, it was with my first pregnancy, and you know, when you're pregnant, you feel like everything's going to be perfect. Maybe you're not going to feel so great, but I didn't expect to have gestational diabetes at all. My father does have diabetes, as does my paternal grandmother, so maybe I should have expected that, but or at least maybe the risk of it. But I had it with my first, and you know, coming up on this information that Dr. Mike will share with you, it would have been really nice to know because it could have helped me.
So what is gestational diabetes? What were some of the issues?
So gestational diabetes is essentially diabetes that happens during pregnancy, usually during the third trimester. And it just usually goes away after pregnancy, but it can increase the risk of diabetes for the child, for the newborn baby in the future. And it affects about 9% of the population.
Oh, wow.
So the big issue is, you know, with a woman who's pregnant, she needs calories, she needs energy to fuel herself and the baby, but then how do you do that in a way that actually helps both the mother and the child?
So is it your hormones that's kind of just throwing everything off, how you process sugar in
how
your
you
body?
process and use carbohydrates. So when you're pregnant, your body actually becomes a little resistant to carbohydrates so that the baby gets them preferentially.
So what were some of the issues you had?
Well, I had to be really, really careful about what I ate. And when you're pregnant, you want to eat everything under the sun.
Yeah.
So that was hard. I think just making sure that I had a really balanced diet, making sure I had more protein than carbs, or really that it was in a balance. That was a big learning lesson for me.
You mentioned people in your family actually had diabetes. What are some of the risk factors that people should look out for? Because you never expect it to happen if you don't have it.
For diabetes or gestational diabetes?
Gestational diabetes.
So for gestational diabetes, actually just being older than 25 or having a little bit of an elevated body weight, having a family history of diabetes, those things can all predispose you to having gestational diabetes. But it's something that they aggressively screen for in America.
So should you just let your doctor know if you have people in your family like that have diabetes?
I'm sure they'll ask.
And they'll do they do specific blood sugar tests like throughout the pregnancy to get ahead of it.
It's not pretty.
And then prevention, oh boy.
No, it's just you drink this very...
Yeah, imagine like a concentrated jar of cola that's hyper sweet and thick like maple syrup.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Okay, because they're trying to see how you would
How your body processes those
wow.
carbohydrates.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so there are some things that we can be doing just at home on our own, some snacks, different things you can eat. You actually brought one of them with us today.
Yeah, so we brought with us some pistachios, and because one of the reasons is there's a new study coming out that we're talking about today showing the benefits of using pistachios as a snack for women who have gestational diabetes. And the study showed that when women snack on pistachios, that it helps control their blood sugar better. And so Trista was talking about, like, when you're pregnant, you're hungry, you want to eat all kinds of things, you want to eat delicious things. Like, pistachios are one of the most delicious snacks. And so I think it's a great new study and a great new message that you can have food that you enjoy, but it's also good for your body and good for the baby's body.
I would have been downing them.
Totally.
Yes, you need options for sure. Well, thank you for bringing awareness for sure about some things women should know, especially going into pregnancy, if they can do anything beforehand to help that, to help bring a safer baby and a safer mommy. Thanks, guys.